even love her, man. You don't love her.
Hey folks, it's the Blind Guy coming back at you, and this week we are doing Christmas movies, and this is a Should You Watch episode, and we are taking a look at 2005's The Family Stone, directed by Thomas Bisucha, and also written by Thomas as well, starring a huge cast, of an all-star cast, notably Diane Keaton, Claire Danes, Luke Wilson. This has got a lot of different actors in it. Sarah Jessica Parker. This is one of those movies that was very popular in the early 2000s where they take a bunch of different people and they mesh them all together into a situation and they create a dramedy out of it. So it's a drama and a comedy. It centers around everybody's coming home for Christmas to the parents' home, which is that's where Diane Keaton's character and the actor from Coach, I can't remember his name, he's the dad, and all the kids are coming home, and it's a super dysfunctional family. Sarah Jessica Parker is coming home to meet the family because she's dating one of the sons. And this was really popular to do in the early 2000s. It's a little bit like Love Actually, where they have multiple stories going on at once, and it's trying to be a drama and a comedy. And this movie it doesn't do it for me. I think what happens is when you try doing this, you get a movie that doesn't hit very well on the dramatic elements, and then also doesn't hit very well on the comedic elements, where I would prefer, if you're going to pick, do one or the other well. You know, make a movie that does the drama really well, maybe doesn't have as many attempts at comedy, or the opposite, have just a more of a comedic holiday movie. This one, it doesn't seem to... It seems to hold itself back in both regards. And I think part of that's because it's written by people out of Hollywood trying to portray a suburban, quote-unquote, normal, orthodox American family. And they just can't do it because they've never been around that. Let's be honest, Hollywood is not known for its family values or traditional family views on anything. And I think that's why they struggle with movies like this. They come up with this family that's just so ridiculous. It's not believable in any sense. Like, maybe if one of the little storylines was happening, we could believe that. But they throw them all together, and then they try to make the movie be believable, and it's just not. It's extremely competently directed. The cinematography and everything's excellent in this movie. It's got a very nice look. Looks like it was shot on film. The atmosphere with some of the snow shots are great, but it just doesn't compensate for the poor story. The actors are all good. You know, it has a pretty all-star cast, so they all do a solid job in it. It just left something lacking. It scores a 6.3 for me, or on IMDb. I'd put it around that 6.0 range. Something I am perfectly fine never seeing again. And if you want to watch it, I'm not going to tell you shouldn't watch it. I just think it's just meh. I mean, that's all I can say. It's just meh. Kind of a lukewarm movie that feels a little preachy at times from the Hollywood side of things, and just, I don't know, just kind of missed it for me. It's not like a Woody Allen movie where you have these, with Hannah and her sisters, you have these kind of ridiculous stories going on at the same time, but there's like a satirical element to it where Woody Allen's poking fun at those kinds of stories a bit, saying that the more the Hollywood elite type, they don't understand how Americans actually live their lives, is how I always understood Woody Allen's movies. He's I hate this term, but he's leaning into the ridiculous nature of these stories. Where this movie, I feel like it's trying to normalize them more and trying to say, hey, this is a true, traditional American family experience around Christmas, and it's not. It's not believable at all. So that's my opinion on The Family Stone. I feel like the movie maybe gets a little bit better towards the end. It kind of wraps itself up a little better and redeems itself in a few areas. But just to give you an example of how I just don't think the storytelling works, Sarah Jessica Parker's character, they set up some of her character traits early on in the movie, and then she doesn't end up really doing them later. But she's brought home to meet this family, and the family is like incredibly mean to her for the first what seems like an hour of the movie. And she's a bit of an awkward character and everything, but that she doesn't deserve their treatment. And I was thinking while I was watching, okay, they're going to explain why they're so mean to her, why this family's this way towards her without any real reason. And then the movie never really does. They kind of change their treatment of her later, but you're never really told why they were so mean to her in the beginning. And so I just felt like it had some loose ends that weren't really tied up. And it just is kind of a okay movie. So that's my opinion on The Family Stone. If you think I'm dead wrong, you think this is a great Christmas movie, let me know in the comments below. I don't care if people say I'm wrong. That does not bother me. So that is The Family Stone from 2005, starring Diane Keaton and Claire Danes, Jessica Sarah Parker, amongst many others, Luke Wilson included. And that's what I got. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Laters on the Menjay.
Laters on the Menjay.